Okay, this section, right? We're going to multiply two matrices. It is not going to be so direct as the addition and subtraction, or even the multiplying a number to a matrix. So it's not going to be so direct. So we are multiplying two matrices. So when we multiply two matrices, first of all, it is not really like algebra. So if I got matrix A and matrix B, so if I do it this way versus if I do a B times A, it will be a different thing. So it's not like algebra or numbers. So in numbers, right, if I do a 1 times 2, it will be the same as a 2 times 1 because we get the same number. Okay, so in algebra, xy will be the same as yx. But in matrices, it doesn't happen in this way. So it matters how we arrange the order of a matrix in the multiplication of two matrices. Okay, so first of all, not any two matrices can be multiplied. So there is a condition to make the matrix multiplication work. So this is the condition. So if you read the condition, the number of columns of the first matrix. So from the first matrix, we got to look at the column. It needs to be equal to the rows of the second matrix. So it sounds quite complicated. So the easiest way to decide whether you can multiply a matrix or not will be you write the order first. So in this case, right, this is the first matrix. So this is the second matrix. The first matrix that comes to you will be the first matrix. The second matrix will be the second one. So you write the order of the matrix. So remember in the first teaching worksheet, you learn about the order. So in fact, that was the first thing you learned. So we order a matrix like row times column. So in this case, right, this is the 3 times 2 matrix. And for the second one, this is a 2 times 4 matrix. So the condition, so look at the condition, the column, that means this is the column. So this is the column of the first matrix. And then this is the row of the second matrix. So they need to be equal. So you look at the middle number. So when they are equal, that means you may go ahead for the multiplication. And when you do the multiplication, you will be getting this as a result. So this is the result that you are getting. So you will get a 3 times 4 column, 3 times 4 matrix. So how big is a 3 times 4 matrix? You may be thinking. So how big is a 3 times 4 matrix? So if you take a look, right, it's 3 rows and it is 4 columns. So you may be thinking, so how am I supposed to multiply in such a way that I can get 12 numbers? Okay, so here comes the process of multiplying. So the process of multiplying will go this way. So from the first matrix, right, we will be using the row. So this is row 1. Okay, this is row 2. And then this is row 3. From the second matrix, we will use the column. So this is column 1. So this is column 2. Then this one is column 3. And this one is column 4. So this one is row 1, row 2, row 3, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay, so how are you going to multiply. So let's say this one. Okay, we just narrow. Okay, we just look at this one first. So this one, okay, I think I should be writing it this way so that you can see. So this one is row 1, column 1. So how are you going to get the number at row 1, column 1? You will take this row and this column. Take this row and this column. First number multiplied by the first number. So the first number is a 2. 2 multiplied by 1. Second number multiplied by the second number. And you will add them up. So in this case, you will get 10. So this first one will be a 10. So then we go to the second number. Okay, usually I do by column. Sorry, I do by row. I will fill up the first layer. So this is R1C2. So R1C2. You are going to still take the same row, but right now you are using the second column. So first number multiplied by first number, second number multiplied by second number, and you add them up. You will get a -2. So this is a -2. So I'm going to continue to the next one. So R1C3. So I'm still using the first row. But I'm going to be using the third column. So in a way, I fix the row. So first number multiplied by first number, second number multiplied by second number, and you add them up. So I got a 24. Okay, then we go on to R1C4. So change the column. So now change the column. So change the column, first number times the first number. I'm still using the same row. I have not changed up. Then second number multiplied by the second number. So you get 14 minus 8, you got a 6. So my first layer is completed. So after my first layer is completed, I go to the second layer. So now I shall go to the second layer. So this is R2C1, R2C2, R2C3, R2C4. So everything you'll be using the second row, but then you will rotate the column. So you will rotate the column. Okay, so maybe this row we can make it a little bit faster. So R2C1, First number times first number, second number times second number. I get 7 R2C2 1 times minus 1 3 times 0 R2C3 I will get 1 times 6 plus 3 times 3 15 R2C4 1 times 7 3 times minus 2 7 minus 6 there will be 1. So now everything is filled up. So I will get 7 minus 1 15 and a 1. So the second layer filled up. We are going to go to the third layer. So when you go to the third layer, I will be using, we go back to black color, the third row and rotate all the column. So we go to the third row and rotate all the column. So for you, you might feel that this looks super long. As you get used to it, right? This will be quite fast. You don't need to write the working. You can do mental, but you will realize that you will feel that there is a lot of chance to make careless mistakes. So now I'm going to use the last row and the first column. So it will be 4 times 1, first number and first number, second number and second number. So R3C2. So let's rotate the column. Let's rotate the column. 4 times minus 1, 0 times 0. Maybe for a start, you might feel that you need to write the working. So obviously, if you're going to be writing the working, you will feel that it's going to be very long. So gradually, you should learn to do without the working. So mentally, you train yourself. So your brain got to associate the multiplication to be a row times column. For the first metric, we'll always take the row. For the second metric, we always take the column. So now I go to the fourth column. First times first, second times second. So now I get all the numbers. So this is considered metric multiplication done. So 4 minus 4, 24 and 28. Okay, so this one looks a bit complex because there's a lot of numbers to fill up. So not every multiplication is going to be so complex. So I'm going to show you the next one, which is not so complex. So the next one is 1 times 3 metric. And this is a 3 times 2 metric. So again, this is how you check. You check the column and the rows of the second metric. So once it match, right, this will be the result. So it will give you a 1 times 2 metric. So if you look 1 times 2, how does that look like? 1 row, 2 columns. So there's only 2 numbers. So how do we get the 2 numbers? So it will be, there's only 1 row. and there are 2 columns. So this is row 1, column 1, row 1, column 2. So row 1, column 1. So right now there are 3 numbers. So you take the first one, multiply by the first one. Second number, multiply by the second number. Third number, multiply by the third number. So there are 3 numbers for you to add up, 3 products. So row 1, C2. So now you take the same row, but you're going to take the second column. First number times the first number. Second times the second. Third times 5. So you will get 5. You will get a minus 10. So that's how I get a 1 and minus 10. So this is not a very long matrix multiplication. Okay, so compared to the previous one. Okay, that all depends. There are different shape and size. Okay, 2 by 2 times the 2 by 2 is the common one. So the condition is met, and this is the result. So it gave you a 2 times 2 matrix. It will still be the same thing. You are taking the row from the first matrix. You are taking the column for the second matrix. So I would suggest you box it up, or else you will get very confused. So this is R1, C1, R1, C2. So usually, again, right, I will fill up the top layer. I fill up the top layer first. First number and first number. You add with second number times second number. So change your column. So R1, C2, you change your column. 3 times 7 plus 0 times 3. So this part is done. The top layer is done. Then we go to the bottom layer. So this is R2, C1, R2, C2. So second row, first column. Second row, then we rotate the column. R2, C1, first times first, second times second. First times first, second times second. So that's how we get the last 2 numbers. So there are different shapes and size. You got to decide how the final size look like first. So all this can be mental. You do not need to show any working. You just need to get used to the way that it's being multiplied.